Just Us Bros.
Hey everyone, welcome to Just Us Bros podcast. And over the last couple weeks, we've seen advertisements near and far about something that us three have dealt with. Just like this recliner and just like the style I'm wearing, we're talking about the 90s and that 90s show, something we lived through. As always, I'm Hokey Joker.
Green Lantern.
And I'm Batcher.
Guys, I've heard there's a car that runs on water, man.
The government has a car that runs on water, man.
Man. No.
How would that even work?
It's just water, man.
Well, I hear in 1999, December 31st at midnight, the world's going to explode because everything's going to go 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Whoa. Do you think, in the future, we'll have, virtual reality?
What if we could see each other from, across the state? You just, see my face. Of course, we are talking about that 90s show. Have you seen the new Netflix series that came out in 10 episodes for the first season? Sort of just to get into why I watched it, I love that 70s show. And a lot of the commercials had a lot of nostalgia. I saw Eric, Donna, Kelso, Michael Kelso, whatever. Jackie, Fez, Kitty, Red. And I watched it. And thank God for Kitty and Red.
Yep. So I'm 5 episodes in so far, so I haven't made it all the way. First episode definitely relied on a lot of cameos, and from what I've seen in the following 4 episodes, Kitty and Red make up, I'd say, 50% of the show, but it definitely in a good way. I've missed Red's anger. And I've missed Kitty's warm laugh.
But yeah, watching it because I, as Hokey Joker has also, we both finished the series. It's so surreal to say this. It's a great nostalgic piece. I guess that 90s show for us is what that 70s show was for people 20 years ago that were watching it that are our age now. That's, wow, mind blown right there. Whoa.
I'll say this about the show. When you go back and you watch the first couple episodes of that 70s show, you were introduced and everything just sort of breathed. And Eric sitting on the car at the end of the first one when Donna kisses him, that gives so much moment. But I feel like in this show it's oh, here's Eric, here's Donna, here's this, here's that, and it's sort of speeding through without really giving the characters time to build up. And I think that's sort of drawing back on it,
because they definitely played off the part of the cast of that 70s show being a big part of that 90s show, which for us, I think that was cool, but also kind of unfair to the new kids that are trying this new series out, that 90s show. It should be mostly about them with just keeping the older characters to a cameo role instead of just fishing them in for nostalgic purposes. Like Green Lantern was saying, Kitty and Red being staples in the show, it works because obviously Eric Foreman's basement is the hangout for the kids, and in this series it still is, but not for Eric and his friends. It's for their daughter Leia, which perfect name. I'm glad that they chose that for her.
Leia Tatooine Foreman.
And it's basically like a second generation for Red and Kitty to have to deal with kids being in their basement.
So since a lot of people watching this might have seen that 70s show, what do you think about the characters as far as where they ended with that 70s show to that 90s show? Because I think the biggest change for me was Red seems a little too happy. He seems more relaxed and he doesn't throw as many foots and asses around. And I
think that's because his kids, Eric's generation of friends, they've grown up, they've moved out, they've had their peace for about 20 years.
Yeah,
they can deal with their granddaughter every now and again, but now, I think as the series progresses, he kind of slowly went back to, kids, dumbasses. But yeah,
I definitely think it has to do with that, and even grandkids are just different. I mean, there's dumbasses running around, but it's his grandkids. It's not his direct offspring. And to kind of pinpoint back on what you said about Donna and Eric, I did feel like some of it was rushed, but I also felt like it was rushed because those returning actors maybe said we'll do one episode or we'll do two episodes, and uh, but I agree. It's the new kids definitely need their fair share of screen time. Um, Donna and Eric being on the car kind of struck a nerve because I mean that takes you back to the very first episode of that '70s show when they were kids and they got on the car and push each other's heads, and it's kind of just nostalgic. It was for me, it was nostalgic.
Yeah, and it was nostalgic with the last episode too, when Donna and Eric met in the garage after he came back from Africa. So
Yeah,
yeah, and but this is the last thing I'll say about that. With I'm not gonna say it's negativity, but one thing that 90s show has going for it that 80s show didn't, because that 80s show was one season, not a good show. They're linking them with those characters, and I think that's only for the better, because that 80s show just was nowhere near good.
I agree. I liked the concept of that '80s show, but I think it was riding the coattails of that '70s show from day one.
But you didn't have the same characters, so you didn't care.
Right.
Like that 80s
Um,
show could have tried something differently. They could have been like, here's a show that we set in the 80s. Don't even call it that 80s show to reference that 70s show, and just be like, this is our own show. We're doing another one, but this time it's set in the 80s. It's not related to the other one. Don't think about that. But yeah, too many people were like, that 70s show was great. Don't ruin it with this, whatever this is.
they kind of addressed the last season, season 8 of that '70s show, and pretty much they retconned everything. Like Donna and Eric got back together, and the whole Fez and Jackie thing ended, and um, Kelso ended up back with her, and they even addressed that they were broken apart a couple times and back together a couple times, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, for obvious reasons, they couldn't have Danny Masterson in there. But I'm surprised. I'm not, I'm not going to get into the plot, because this is a chance for you guys to take what we say, watch it if you want, maybe you have the same input on that. But with the returning characters, I mean, I just missed Kitty and Red, and
Yep.
like Don, Eric, I would like to know what's going on with them. Fez, I want to see some more Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, but it's all about the new kids on the block, if you will. What are we thinking of? How are we liking the new cast?
I like that each of the new kids seems like a different flavor of the different character from that 70s show. Obviously, Leia is very much her father's daughter. She's very nerdy. Well, at least in the beginning of the season. And as she progresses, she gets, a little bit wilder with her friends. Gwen, is it Nikki? It's Nikki, yeah.
Yeah, Nikki's dating the fat Kelso little kid or whatever his name is.
So, like I said, yeah, like that guy has aspects of Kelso that you think of. Her friend Gwen would kind of remind us of like a character I guess we shouldn't really talk about from that 70s show, but watch it so you'll figure out who I'm saying.
I don't have a problem from that '70s show saying I'll say Hyde because I liked him in the day. What he's done since then has nothing to do with what he did on the show. His character on the show was a great character,
Yeah.
but I
And
can definitely see her being kind of his replacement.
yeah, when it comes to the character of Ozzy, I feel like that was supposed to be like a Fez stand-in, but he doesn't do it for me. I mean, he just seems kind of arrogant and smartass, but like Fez he was like fun. He could pick on him, he could take a joke, he could give it back, but I think Ozzy's just like kind of a condescending character.
I kind of like Ozzy. I like his snide remarks to things, and I mean he's quick to quip, which I kind of like him.
But you
And
bet
there
Drew.
it is weird
Yeah.
that there's two Kelsos. The very
That is
first
weird.
episode, the very first episode, I'm like, why are there two Kelsos?
Yeah, but then they're not related, which is
They're not
weird to
even
me.
related.
Which
I
is
mean,
funny because we like Green Lantern and I, when we were watching, we were like, okay, this has got to be somebody's kid. This is definitely a Kelso. And we were like, no, wait, crap, that's the wrong kid. It's not the Kelso. This is the Kelso.
Yep. But it's like the
so
actual Kelso inherited, well, both of his parents' looks, definitely, but also Jackie's smarts.
but was she really that smart though? I mean, she was manipulative.
In comparison
Oh God, who isn't?
to Michael,
Yeah. The funny thing is, I just Googled the cast so I could remember all the kids' names because honestly, I've been forgetting the kids' names. And Ashley Alfredide, the girl who plays Nate's sister. I can't think of her name. Is it what'd you say? It's Izzy. She's the first girl
Gwen
that.
is the sister.
Yeah, the one that's the
Gwen.
sister. Gwen. It says on Google when you type in that 90s show cast, her name pops up as Stephen Hyde.
What?
Stephen Hyde?
Stephen Hyde. Which is
That's weird.
yeah, and so I think Badger was talking about that with us earlier. It's like you think that was supposed to be Hyde's daughter because she has a lot of Hyde vibes.
She's definitely got a Hyde attitude and just her fun going. I don't. The first episode I saw her and just her mannerisms and the way she acted, I immediately
Was
thought of
very
Hyde.
very anarchy like. I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm cool type of stuff. Don't bother me. That kind of made me
Yep.
think maybe this is Hyde's daughter somehow.
Hyde was kind of a, I wouldn't say hippie, but he was definitely like a against the system type person. And if you go forward to the 90s, grunge kind of takes that role, and she's very grunge.
Yeah, and I think they could leave some questions open to the next season where, as of right now, Nate and Jay aren't related, but they're both much like a Kelso. And as we said earlier, Kelso and Jackie are going back and forth, so maybe they get along like brothers because you never know. So that's something. But that 90s show to me is it with all the old returning characters, it's dipping the toe into the water. And I think that's a great chance. Of course, I didn't watch one episode and hate it. I didn't turn it off. I kept watching. I mean, I feel like the show's about like 3 years too late. But I'm still gonna watch it. Still gonna enjoy it. If they pick it up for a second season, I'll still watch it.
But I do hope that if they do a second season, because they ended season one where that could be, the ending, or if they wanted to continue it, they could definitely continue it. But I hope going forward, if they do, less cameos from that 70s show characters, more focus on the kids and let them build, their own dynasty.
So, most nostalgic callback from the 90s that you witnessed in the show.
Oh,
For me, it was the episode with the computer and hearing the dial up internet. And just me, I remember the pain of dial up internet. And I feel like a lot of our viewers have no idea what that sound even is.
It was like two demons screaming at each other.
jeez, Drew, why'd you get so close to the TV and say that?
I'm just saying, I also know what it's like. I don't think it was so much the noise, but the older generation not understanding how to use any of it. And that's still prevalent today. But, but I don't know. I have to go back and think. It's like definitely some of the styles, but I think they might be using the term bro a little too early.
What character, other than he who shall not be named, that did not return, would you have liked to see?
Well, Tommy Chong showed up, so we need to make sure we say he showed up.
Yeah, man.
I was really surprised and forgot that when Fenton came back that he was actually on the show, because I was like, hell is a Dean doing on here? I was like, oh yeah, that's right, he was on that 70s show, and that took me back to
I
that 70s show's
totally,
moments.
I totally forgot that too. So I've only made it five episodes in. Did Seth Green show up?
No.
Bummer.
But I want Pastor Dave to show up, which I know people
They
might
name
say,
dropped him.
yeah, but I wanted to see him like looking in the dirty movies, or maybe what if he married Lori? But then again, I think the Lori situation's kind of tepid waters that we don't really want to like mess with.
Well, they replaced her once in the show, didn't they?
Yeah, with the actress died, the original. What actor would you like to see come back that wasn't on there?
Mine was Seth Green, just because he was a funny little character in the show, like not a main character, but the episodes he showed up.
Do you feel like it lacked a lot because of the Star Wars references weren't there?
Well, in the 90s, they wouldn't really be talking about Star Wars. They'd be talking about, Pulp Fiction.
I would like to see if the show continues, them talking about the excitement around Star Wars Episode 1 coming out.
And
That could
Eric's
definitely be what they lead in season 2 with, like Eric wanting to take all of the kids to see episode 1 and being like, this is gonna change your life. And then it's just like boom.
And then they love it, but he hates it.
and he just sees
Midichlorians?
Jar Jar Binks.
Misa think this movie is
Yeah. Because when's this show set? 96, 97?
Eric's 38, so how old would he have been in 1979 at the end of that 70 show? About
Well,
20.
They graduated high school and before he left for so I'm just thinking based off Leia's age, because if she's turning 15 and it's 96 and she was born in 81, which means Eric and Donna got pregnant and married a year and a half after the show ended, maybe.
Well, they said in the first episode he's 38 and she turned 15.
Yeah,
So he would have been 23.
Yeah, 23. So maybe because did the show start in 76?
Something like that.
Yeah, because they were getting ready to celebrate his 16th birthday party or something like that.
I
Maybe.
could have swore the show started in like 73. Because at the end of
Well,
each season,
you would
there
think
was
with the amount of Christmas episodes, but no.
Because there were 8 seasons of that 70 show at least, right?
Yeah, there were 8 seasons, but they had so many Christmas. You could tell by the end of the end credit sequence when they have like the year inspection date on the license plate. Let's see.
So I feel like it would be like 97 or 98.
Yeah, it says it. That 70 show spans from May 17th, 1976 to December 31st, 1979. So a little over 3.5 years in 8
So
seasons.
he would have been 19 and or 20 at the end of yes,
Oh,
and
that
or
90
he was both 19 and 20.
That 90 show takes place in 1995. So
Well, there's a discrepancy right there.
yeah. Well, we're not here to fact check. We're here to be entertained and be entertainers.
Because
Speaking
if he
of-
was 38 and she's 15, that's 23. If he was 23 when he had her, that would be 1982.
78. 78.
If he was 18 in 78, because the show
We're not
started in
good.
76.
Well, yeah, it ended in 79. So that means she'd had been born in 1980 when
Which
he was
means she'd be
15, which he
15.
turns in the show.
But they said he was 38.
But what I'm saying, y'all, is they have this car that can run on water, man.
Anyway, guys, that was our preliminary thoughts on that 90s show. What did you guys think? Did you watch the Netflix special? Did you watch that 70s show growing up? Maybe you watched that 80s show and thought that was pretty good. Anyway, just like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'm Hokey Joker.
I'm Bad Drew.
Green Lantern.
We're all right. Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Hello, Just Us Bros!